Marvel and DC tried replacing some of their biggest heroes. And fans didn't just disagree, they revolted. One replacement led to fans booing at Comic-Con. Another sparked so many angry letters, editors had to address the backlash in the comics themselves. These weren't side characters. They tried to replace Spider-Man, Batman, even Superman. And readers made it clear, not on their watch. So why did Marvel and DC gamble with their most beloved icons? And which replacements triggered the most unforgettable fan outrage? Here are 10 times Marvel or DC tried to replace a hero, and fans fought back. At number 10, Spider-Man Replacement. In the mid-1990s, Marvel made a bold move. They replaced Peter Parker. Ben Reilly, Peter's clone from a forgotten 70s storyline, returned. Suddenly, Peter was told he was the clone, and Ben, not him, was the real Spider-Man. Peter retired to raise his unborn child. Ben took over the mantle. Fans were furious. Readers had followed Peter through loss, sacrifice, and decades of pain. Being told he never was the real one felt like betrayal. Letters poured in. Backlash grew. Marvel dragged the Clone Saga on for years, but eventually gave in. In Spider-Man issue 75, Ben died saving Peter, crumbling into dust. The truth was restored. Peter was the real Spider-Man. He returned publicly, but without celebration. Marvel later admitted the decision was driven by marketing, not story. Ben's run ended in one final panel, a pile of dust where a hero stood. Peter picked up the mask, and the comics picked up again. At number 9, Captain America Replacement. In 1987, Steve Rogers gave up the shield. The US government wanted him to serve under their control. Steve refused. He walked away from being Captain America. To replace him, the government chose John Walker, a brutal, hot-headed super soldier known as the Super Patriot. He wore the costume. He held the shield, but his violent methods, including killing a villain, shocked readers. Many fans wrote in demanding Steve's return. Marvel had introduced Walker during a time of declining sales. Replacing Steve was meant to shake things up, a test to see if the title could survive without him. But backlash was loud, and fans never fully accepted Walker. In Captain America issue 350, after a year of tension, Walker handed the shield back. Steve reclaimed the role on his own terms. Marvel restored the status quo. Reception improved. Marvel's experiment ended there. Steve Rogers resumed the role in full, just as fans had demanded since day one. At number 8, Green Arrow Replacement. In Green Arrow issue 101, 1995, Oliver Queen dies stopping a terrorist plane. DC replaced him with his son, Connor Hawke, a calm, disciplined archer trained in Zen and martial arts. Connor became the new Green Arrow in issue 102 and led the title for the next 5 years. He fought with the Justice League, teamed up with Kyle Rayner, and proved himself capable in battle. But fans never stopped writing in. They missed Oliver's attitude, his relationship with Black Canary, and his voice. Sales stayed average, but the demand for Ollie's return kept growing. In 2001, Kevin Smith launched the Quiver arc and brought Oliver Queen back to life. Connor stepped aside. Ollie took back the bow. DC made it clear. Connor hadn't failed, but readers didn't want a new Green Arrow. DC had tried to pass the mantle, but readers made it clear. For them, Green Arrow wasn't just a costume. It was Oliver Queen. At number 7, Aquaman Replacement. In 2006, DC replaced Aquaman. The original, Arthur Curry, had vanished after a mystical transformation. His stand-in, a new, younger hero named Arthur Joseph Curry. Same name, similar powers, but not the same king. The change didn't spark excitement. Fans weren't angry. They were confused, disconnected. The new Aquaman lacked the legacy, pain, and presence that made Orin iconic. The Sword of Atlantis run struggled in sales, and by 2010, DC brought the original back in Blackest Night and Brightest Day. No fan petition, no massive backlash, just quiet rejection. Readers simply waited for the real Aquaman to return. And when he did, they embraced him instantly. Arthur Joseph faded from continuity. DC didn't even explain it. They just acted like it never happened. Fans were fine with that, because for them, Aquaman wasn't just a title. It was Arthur Curry, the warrior king beneath the waves, and no substitute could ever take his place. At number 6, Iron Man Replacement. In 1983, Tony Stark hit rock bottom. Struggling with alcoholism and guilt, he lost control of his company and gave up the Iron Man armor. He handed it to his best friend, James Rhodes, a former military pilot with no powers, no training, and no idea how the suit worked. Marvel used this moment to explore failure and redemption, but also to see if someone other than Tony could carry the title. Rhodey starred in major events like Secret Wars and headlined the Iron Man comic for nearly 2 years. But readers noticed something was off. Rhodey suffered severe headaches from the armor's neural link. He lacked Tony's genius and precision, and fans missed the inventor behind the suit. In Iron Man issue 200, Tony returned fully sober in a new Silver Centurion armor. He helped Rhodey defeat Ironmonger and took the mantle back. Rhodey stepped aside. Tony Stark was Iron Man again, just as readers had hoped since the beginning. At number 5, Thor Replacement. In 1991, Marvel did something bold. They replaced Thor, not with a warrior god, but a regular human named Eric Masterson. Eric was just an architect, but after an accident nearly killed him, Odin merged Thor essence with Eric to save his life. For a time, they shared one body, but when Thor was exiled by Odin, Eric was given the hammer and powers permanently in Thor issue 433. He wore the armor. He fought villains. He even joined the Avengers as Thor. But fans weren't convinced. Letters poured in asking when the real Thor would return. Eric was brave, but he wasn't a god. He lacked the power, the presence, the myth. In Thor issue 459, the original Odinson finally returned, reclaiming his title. Eric became Thunderstrike in his own spin-off. But to readers, the message was clear. Thor wasn't just a name. It was a legacy tied to one man. And fans wanted that man back. At number 4, Superman Replacement. In 1993, DC did the unthinkable. They killed Superman. Superman issue 75 showed him die in Lois Lane's arms after stopping Doomsday. The world mourned, newspapers reported it. Fans lined up outside comic shops. Then came the replacements. Steel wore armor, Superboy was a teen clone. Eradicator used energy blasts, and Cyborg Superman claimed to be Kal-El, with fake memories to prove it. Readers followed every issue, but most didn't believe it. Every comic shop had the same question. When is Superman coming back? That moment came in Superman issue 82. The real Superman returned, in a black suit, long hair, and powered up. He joined the battle against Cyborg, saved the city, and proved who he was. Lois saw him alive. His parents cried. Fans got their hero back. Steel and Superboy stayed in the universe, but the title returned to Kal-El. Sales surged again, although debate continued behind the scenes. Superman was back, and readers felt the wait paid off. At number 3, Hulk Replacement. In 2015, Marvel made a bold move. They replaced Bruce Banner as the Hulk. His stand-in, a teenage Korean-American genius named Amadeus Cho. After absorbing Hulk's powers through nanotech, Cho became the new Hulk in the totally awesome Hulk issue 1. Unlike Banner, who was haunted and angry, Amadeus was upbeat, cocky, and fully in control of his powers. Marvel marketed him as the fun Hulk, smart, flashy, and modern. But for many fans, that was the problem. They didn't hate Amadeus, but they missed Bruce, the rage, regret, and tragedy that defined the Hulk. And Amadeus didn't bring that weight. Over time, fans made their feelings clear in forums and reviews. They wanted Banner back. Marvel listened. In 2018, Bruce returned in Immortal Hulk, a darker, horror-themed reboot that became a bestseller. Amadeus stepped aside and took on the name Brawn. Fans welcomed the change, seeing the Hulk as not just strength, but as Banner's unique burden to bear. At number 2, the Atom Replacement. After Ray Palmer vanished in the aftermath of Identity Crisis, DC introduced Ryan Choi in 2006 as the new Atom, a young Taiwanese-American genius who inherited Ray's shrinking tech and teaching post in Ivytown. Ryan was quirky, smart, and had Ray's blessing in spirit, but many fans still saw him as a temporary fill-in. His series, The All-New Atom, ran for 25 issues but never developed a strong fan base. Behind the scenes, DC was already planning Ray's return, and in 2008, they brought him back from the Microverse. Then, in 2010, Ryan was brutally killed off in Titans, Villains for Hire, sparking backlash over the treatment of minority heroes. But the message was clear. Ray Palmer was back for good. Most fans quietly accepted the switch, having never fully connected with Ryan. Ray took back the Atom role in the New 52 and beyond, while Ryan was erased from continuity. For fans, Ray Palmer remained the true Atom. At number 1, Wonder Woman was replaced. In 1994, DC removed Diana as Wonder Woman. Her mother, Queen Hippolyta, forced a new contest after seeing a vision of her daughter's death. Artemis, a rival Amazon, won, only because the contest was rigged. Diana lost her title, her costume, and her legacy. Artemis became the new Wonder Woman, wearing a more aggressive outfit and using violent tactics Diana never would. Fans were shocked and furious. Diana had led the book for years, and now she was forced into a black biker outfit fighting crime without the name she built. Readers didn't hate Artemis, but they hated losing Diana. They flooded the letters pages, demanding her return to the role. And DC listened. In Wonder Woman issue 100, Artemis died in battle. One issue later, Diana returned. Fans were relieved. The tiara came back. The name came back. And Diana proved she didn't need a title to be Wonder Woman. But the title sure needed her. Fans fought back then. And they do it again. Drop the replacement you hated most in the comments. Press like, subscribe button, and press the bell icon for regular updates for more comic videos.